Now, we're going to take up one more problem on thermal stresses. So here, the problem reads as the problem number 60. The composite bar shown in figure is 0.2 mm short of distance between the rigid supports at room temperature. What is the maximum temperature rise which will not produce stresses in the bar? Find stresses induced when the temperature rises 40 degrees centigrade. Given alpha S will be equal to 12 into 10 to the power of minus 6 per degree centigrade. Alpha C equals 17.5 into 10 to the power of minus 6 per degree centigrade. Young's modulus of steel equals 2 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per mm square. And Young's modulus of copper is equal to 1.2 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per mm square. Take AS is to AC will be equal to 4:3. So what is the maximum temperature rise which will not produce the stresses in the bar means when the delta, the coefficient of once the support will going to try to touch the support, so that is when the delta becomes 0.2, what will be the temperature at that particular point? So till that time we are going to have the free expansion. So to do that, here maximum temperature rise which will not produce any stresses, so therefore free expansion will be equal to alpha C into T into LC plus alpha S into T into LS. So free expansion till that expansion that of 0.2, that is the gap what we have, till such time we will not be able to produce the stresses. Only once the expansion goes beyond that, then only the stresses will going to be developed. So now we are going to have, since T is the common factor in both here, so you take T into alpha C is the coefficient of thermal expansion for the copper, so 12 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into length of copper, which is 300, plus 17.5 into 10 to the power of minus 6, which is coefficient of thermal expansion of steel, into 200, that is the length of steel. And on simplification, T will be equal to 28.169 degrees centigrade. So that is the maximum temperature at which they will not going to produce any stress. Now, the stress induced when the temperature rises 40 degrees centigrade. So what is that? Free expansion is constrained by the supports as it reaches to 0.2 mm. Then it goes, once it goes beyond the distance of 0.2 mm, then the temperature, then the stresses will going to be developed. So again, because due to the expansion, so naturally the compressive stresses will going to be developed both in the steel bar and as well as in the copper bar. However, the force in the steel and the copper bar will be the same because we have the no external forces acting on the body. So that is PS is equal to PC. So what is PS? Sigma S into AS will be equal to sigma C into AC. So we know what is AS by AC is equal to 4/3. So 4/3 into AC will be equal to sigma C into AS. So you substitute the area of steel in terms of area of copper. So on simplification, you are going to get sigma S as equal to 0.75 into sigma C. So what is that? Then the contraction of steel bar due to the temperature stress delta S will be equal to PS into LS by AS into ES. But we know what is PS by AS, which will be equal to sigma S into LS by ES. So you know the length of steel and length of the Young's modulus of steel. So substitute those values. Sigma S into length of steel is 300 divided by 2 into 10 to the power of 5, which is Young's modulus of steel. So that will be equal to 1.5 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into sigma S. So now, what will be the contraction of copper due to the temperature stress delta C, which is equal to again PC into LC by AC into EC, which is equal to sigma C into LC by AC, sigma C into LC by EC. So substitute the value of length of copper bar and also the Young's modulus of copper, which is 200 and 1.2 into 10 to the power of 5 respectively. So on simplification, you are going to get it as 1.667 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into sigma C. But also we know that free expansion will be equal to alpha S into T into LS plus alpha C into T into LC. So you know T is the common factor. You take out the T as the common factor into alpha S into LS plus alpha C into LC. Now, once you substitute the values of coefficient of thermal expansion of steel and copper, and also length of steel and length of copper. So here, if you see the coefficient of thermal expansion of copper, which is steel as 12 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into 300, plus coefficient of thermal expansion of copper is 17.5 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into 200. So then the temperature rise is 40. So that will be equal to 0.284 mm. So once you get that, so now delta S plus delta C is equal to 0.284 minus 0.2. So it will be 0.084. So now you substitute the value of delta S plus delta C, which is delta S as 1.5 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into, so into sigma S, which is into sigma C, that is 0.75 into sigma C. Substitute those values, plus delta C, which will be 1.667 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into sigma C, will be equal to 0.084 mm. So on simplification, so the temperature stress induced in the copper bar is sigma C, which will be equal to 30.08 Newton per mm square, which is, again, you have the compressive stress developed. So similarly, the temperature stress induced in the steel bar, which is sigma S, which is equal to 0.75 into sigma C, so which will be equal to 0.75 into 30.08, which will be equal to, so 22.567 Newton per mm square. Again, it is the compressive in nature, or the compressive stress. Therefore, temperature stress induced in the steel bar sigma S will be equal to 22.567 Newton per mm square. So again, that is the compressive stress. So this is how you will be able to find out the temperature stress in both copper and as well as the steel bar, which was given the problem. Thank you.